Matthew is with us in Los Angeles. Hi, Matthew. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, I have a couple of quick questions. First of all, I have a annuity / 401k plan, and there's about close to $1 million in there. And I got this letter from the organization, and they have this program, and it's called a single life annuity, and I'll read it to you. It says that pays you a fixed amount of money each month for the rest of your life. And then it says, following your death, no payments will be made to your spouse or your heirs. So the estimated payment that they'll pay me under that condition is $4,300 a month. Now, they also offer...
Well, that sucks.
Right.
$48,000 on $1 million, 4.8% return on your $1 million, and then you lose all your money at death?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know if you misunderstood. They're going to pay me, yes, they're going to pay me $4,300 a month.
Yeah, $48,000 a year.
Okay, that's correct. Yeah, you do quick math. Okay. But they also offer that for a lesser amount, which will be $3,600 a month, that I can my spouse will be able to continue at that amount.
That's so
for the
sweet.
rest of her life.
That's so sweet.
Right.
So they're going to screw you again. Yeah. No.
All right.
No,
so,
no, and no.
No,
and no, and no, and no, and no, and no. This is a $1 million mistake.
Okay.
So have you got a fireplace? Have you got a fireplace by chance?
I do, yes.
Okay, good. You can use this letter for kindling.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is that, and that's kind of my question, is you're always concerned on how long you're going to live. Now, I'm
concerned that you're $1 million poorer when you die after only getting a 4.8% return on your money.
Okay.
That concerns me.
Okay.
When you could have been in good mutual funds averaging a 10% rate of return, and when you die, the $1 million is still there.
Right. Okay.
So this is it's like you're accepting half the money you should be getting per month, and you lose all of your money at retirement, and they wink and nod and act like they're doing you a favor. This is laughable.
Well, I think the reason that they bring this forward is because a lot of folks don't like to have to deal with,
the reason they bring it forward is anybody that's dumb enough to do it, they're screwing them out of $1 million. That's the reason they bring it forward.
Well,
it is not.
Well, they present it as being convenient for you.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. You have a guarantee. You're guaranteed to be screwed.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, seriously.
All right, well,
if you can listen, the stock market has averaged 11.8% since it began.
Right.
If it does half of what it has averaged for the next 20 years, you are still going to have more money per month and then leave your heirs $1 million more than these goobers are offering you. You understand the difference?
Right. Oh, yeah, no.
It's a $1 million swing at death.
Yeah. Well, although you do know the $1 million is still, it's not taxed yet. I mean, I haven't pulled it out. So, I mean,
I do know that, and I do know that your income is going to be taxed as you pull it off per the income. Exactly. But I wasn't even going to touch the $1 million. I was going to live off of the return it created, and it just sits there.
Right.
And guess what? Okay. It's not taxed. So there you go. Yeah. No. When a life insurance company says we are here to help you, in general, it's like the government saying we are here to help. In both cases, you should scream, set your hair on fire, and run out of the room.
Right. Yeah. And I think, they do play into that convenience factor. I think a lot of people feel overwhelmed and they're like, we'll take care of you. Don't worry about, you could live 30 more years and we'll make sure you're taken care of. But it's not really the reality of the situation. They're not there to be super generous to you.
Another way of looking at it, Matthew, is you wouldn't have $1 million if you had been using their products to grow your wealth. You wouldn't even have this problem. The fact that you were self-sufficient
Well, and it's like if you want to have that convenience factor, if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed with your finances and you have savings, then talk to a SmartVestor Pro. I mean, that's someone who can take that overwhelm and guide you into things that are really going to grow your money and help you in the long run.
Being broke is always inconvenient. Having half the money you should have is inconvenient. That's inconvenience. So no, don't look for a babysitter. Don't look for a magic wand. Manage your money. Make your money behave. Live off of the income. I mean, $1 million creating a 10% rate of return is $100,000 a year, not $50,000 a year.
Yeah. Well, and just the fees on these products are ridiculous. I was just talking with my in-laws about this over Thanksgiving, and they were talking about annuities and showing me some of the paperwork, and it's like, whew, that is ridiculous. Even if there is a death benefit, it is not great.
Yeah, and it's just so the best thing to do is to run from these people as fast as you possibly can. Do your investing in good investments, and good investments are never found at life insurance companies. Do not go to the transmission store to fix your muffler. They work on transmissions. Life insurance people should be in the life insurance business. They got in the investment business because they figured out it was a way to screw people. And that's what this is. Anytime you pay someone half of what they should be getting per month, and then you keep their money when they die, that by definition is screwing them. And so if you don't like it and you're in that business, you should get in another business, and that way I won't say you're screwing people. Dave Ramsey. No, Dave Ramsey said you're a crook, okay? That's what Dave Ramsey just said. I stand up for the consumer. I don't give a flip what you think if you work for a life insurance company. You can just pound sand, right? And so that was nice. I cleaned that up considerable. But no, seriously, there's entire websites devoted from the life insurance world that hate on Dave Ramsey, and I am blessed by that fact because that means that I am standing up for the consumer instead of you out there, you listeners, and because I am not taking a poll with those morons. Oh my gosh, no, really, seriously. Go handle your own money. You'll have more money during life. You'll have more money during death. Ride the roller coaster yourself. They're riding it and keeping the change while you sit there and take the lint out of your pocket. And that's all you get. Sarah's with us in Denver. Hey, Sarah, welcome to the Ramsey Show. Sarah?
Hi there, Dave. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. How can we help?
Hi there, John. So I've just started the Financial Peace University, which has been great so far. I've surpassed baby step 1, and I'm on baby step 2.
Whoop, whoop.
And my question, sorry to interrupt, but my question is the debt snowball. I'm having a hard time reconciling that only because I'm dealing with a couple of factors, being that I have 7 credit cards at 0% interest.
And what's the balance on the total?
The total balance is going to be somewhere around, off the top of my head, maybe $15K.
And what's your household income?
Income is about 82.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I just started off as a software engineer.
Okay.
So I just switched careers. Okay. So now I'm actually able to manage my finances.
You're
my debts
asking
a little bit better than
great question that a software engineer would ask. So that's perfect. So here's what we have figured out. Because I would have asked the same question. I'm a financial background, and it didn't because the debt snowball is not mathematically correct. When you pay off smallest to largest regardless of interest rate, that's not mathematically correct. Mathematically correct would be to pay off the highest interest rate first.
The avalanche, right?
Well, yeah, that's what other people started calling it years after the debt snowball was famous. Some character came up with the avalanche. But anyway, but the concept doesn't work with the avalanche. And the reason it doesn't work is personal finance is more behavior than it is math. It's 80% behavior, 20% head knowledge. If you try to fix a behavior problem with math, you're going to struggle. But you can fix math with a behavior change. And so the reason I'm telling you all that is that the human heart needs to see traction. In your world, we'd call it gamified. So the debt snowball is gamified. You're gamifying yourself. When you pay off the little one, regardless of the interest rate, you have accomplished a tiny little portion, an incremental goal that gives you hope that this is actually going to freaking work. Then when you pay off the next one, you go a little bit more excitement. When you pay off the next one, you get a little bit more excitement. When you pay off about 4 or 5 of these things or 6 of these things, and this snowball starts to roll, regardless of the interest rates, you get so stinking excited and believing and hope-filled, and you get blinders on, and you start sacrificing deeper, and your progress accelerates, and the probability of getting out of debt and the speed at which you get out of debt is even better with the debt snowball, even though it's mathematically incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been several studies actually done that prove that, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is that my student debt has been the absolute bane of my existence.
Yeah, but you're going to get rid of it. You make plenty of money. It's going away. It's all going away.
And I kind of want it hanging out there to just keep that fire going.
I want you to stay pissed off at it, but just get really mad at this whole thing and go, all right, I'm sweeping these mosquitoes aside, these stupid little credit cards, so I can just draw back and punch this student loan in the nose, baby. I'm going to smack it. It gets visceral. And when you can kind of get that stuff going, and instead of trying to mathematically analyze this, that's when you're going to have more success. And that's coming from a guy who's a math nerd.
Mm-hmm. And your math got you 7 credit cards to begin with. 7. And student loans.
You were trying to win the 0% game, and you lost.
That's right. So one of the best predictors of future behavior is your past. Not always, but it's a good baseline. You've tried the math game, and it hasn't worked.
Ooh.
So just try something different.
Try ours.
Try something different.
Yeah. I mean, if a year from now you're worse off than you were, then change. And Ramsey was crazy.
Yeah, there you go. You have to get in line on that one, but yes, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, I hear people at the beginning of the year calling my show about losing weight or fixing their marriage, and well, this year we're going to go back to our workout. Do something different.
Yeah.
It's not worked.
Change the recipe.
Different. That's right.
I keep getting chocolate cake. I didn't want chocolate cake. Change the recipe.
Change it, man.
Change the recipe, man.
Do something different.
Do something different. Doing the same thing over and over again.
You can do it, Sarah. Do something different.
Definition of insanity.
TikTok faces an investigation into its impact on young people's mental health. Coalition of state attorneys from California, Florida. Look at California and Florida get on the same team. Look at this.
Maybe something good is happening.
The world's coming together. Kentucky, California and Florida and Kentucky, same page. I'm calling this a win already. And more is investigating TikTok for its potential effect on young people's mental and physical health. Group of AGs is looking to see the way TikTok designs, operates, and markets its platform has a negative effect on children, teens, and young adults' health, according to a press release by the AG of Massachusetts. So a couple of things that I find troubling about TikTok. And again, me ranting about social media is no big news, but this is more personal for me. I have a middle schooler, and he came home and was talking about, what is this TikTok thing? Because, of course, he lives in the 14th century because he lives in our house, and all of his classmates are on TikTok. And
does he just have an abacus he plays with at home? That's what I'm picturing at the Deloney household.
He has a stick and a small stone, and that's pretty much his toys. And I said, what are some things your friends tell you about? And so he gave us the name of somebody on TikTok, a TikTok star. And so my wife and I pull it up. And it was, again, my entire show is about relationships and sexuality and intimacy. I am far from an old-fashioned prude, right? What I saw on that was a very young kid, super provocative, super. It was just highly. It reminded me of my time working with sexually abused kids. It was highly sexually charged up, and it was really young kids doing these dances and whatever. And it wasn't just it's fun, hilarious TikTok dances, which I've seen. I've been a part of those. This is something totally different. And my initial thought was, I don't want my kids exposed to this, and I don't want my kids longing to become the topic of conversation. And I started to ask myself, what is the trajectory here for this product, for TikTok? And I realized that it's different. So remember Saturday morning cartoons? We had those back in the
I
dinosaur
remember those.
era.
That's the only thing we have in common, age-wise.
Age-wise.
We both had cartoons.
They had these shiny cereals and cool toys and things like that. That they had, whiz bang and lots of shiny moments so that kids would want to buy those. But the whole object of those commercials was to get your kids to tell your parents, that's what I want. They still had to loop back to the parents. And this feels new because what this is doing is going directly after the kids. It's bypassing any sort of wise or mature filter, going directly into the hearts and minds of kids. And that feels different. And I'm happy to see states coming together, states that on the surface don't like each other, are coming together to say, hey, they write here, how TikTok keeps people watching and engaging is somewhat mysterious. They have had to pay millions of dollars in fines. TikTok has already for how they're going after children under the age of 13. As somebody who doesn't consume TikTok regularly, help me out with the redeeming value of this platform.
I can help you, John. So, to TikTok's defense, I am a big consumer.
Those words have never been uttered in the history of the English language, by the way.
Here's the thing. A lot of people assume TikTok is a bunch of salacious dance challenges, but what's extra dangerous is how good the algorithm is at learning what you like.
Okay.
And so it doesn't ask you. There's no survey that says, hey, George, are you interested in personal finance and food hacks? It didn't ask me that. It just learned over time the kind of content I was engaging in. So I don't see dance challenges. What I see is a lot of content creators trying to build their followings, trying to sell an online course, whatever, a lot of the Bitcoin bros that are out there trying to teach you on whatever the next coin you should invest in. And so I do see a lot of value in short-form content creation. It's where things are going. It's where we've been heading. We have a shorter attention span than ever. And even the cartoons these days, if you watch them, there's a new scene change every 3 or 4 seconds.
Right.
Because it's just bright garbage and you need to keep your attention by switching scenes, cutting cameras. We are losing our attention span. So that, to me, is one of the most dangerous parts. It's not the salacious dance challenges. It's the fact that I can't focus anymore. I can't even sit through a 2-hour movie because I got to, where's my phone? I got to check the text.
You can't drive to the grocery store without trying to text and drive and get emails and make phone calls.
And so to me, the danger is in what short-form content could be doing to our attention spans, to our focus.
And that's
we can't pay attention in conversations anymore.
That's a neurological consequence, right? It's changing how our brain is wired together. So you said you were going to defend TikTok, and I feel like you just joined my team.
I love the content that I see on TikTok. I find it more valuable than some things I see on YouTube.
Okay.
I just watched one yesterday, and it was a girl explaining what's going on with Ukraine and NATO, and she did it in a really funny kind of almost like she was gossiping to a friend about it. Mm-hmm. And she explained it in 60 seconds so concisely and perfectly, and entertained me along the way. So I think there is value in the style of content. There's value in a platform like TikTok, which, like it or not, has done this really well of serving you up content that it thinks you will like and then keeping you engaged. Gotcha. So on that side, that's just smart marketing. That's how the content machine works. It's why we love watching YouTube video after YouTube video, and now it's TikTok.
And so it sounds like the meta lesson then is, no pun intended, is parents have to continue to remain parents, because asking a 10-year-old or a 14-year-old to look at cooking videos over salacious videos or extra violent content or whatever you're asking too much of a small kid, right?
Yes, I'm a grown man. It's very different for me versus a 13-year-old, especially if you have kids out there. I can't imagine what it's like being a parent and trying to make sure that you're aware of what your kid is engaging in, what apps that they're downloading. And part of all of the drama with TikTok is that there's no need for parents' permission. Kids can just download this app, make their account, and have free reign over all the content on there.
Yeah. And, man, I trust you. You're smart and you're wise, and you do your due diligence. If somebody said, hey, I've been getting a lot of updates on what's going on overseas via TikTok, I would just shake my head in sadness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So also be careful about what you're getting to.
Well, this is their news platform now.
Yeah.
They're not checking CNN and Fox News anymore. Teens are just going on TikTok.
That's great either, but
and they're just learning from people their age about what's going on. And so take everything with a grain of salt.
Yep.
TikTok is not gospel. It is not the dictionary, so do your due diligence. But it's a fun, entertaining platform. I use it to learn things and to be entertained, But if you've got a kid out there, you've got to be really careful about how this is affecting your teen with comparison culture. And I
both
need to be a
content-wise
TikToker.
and neurologically, right?
Yeah, because it used to be, I want to be a YouTuber, John. That's the new goal of every high schooler. Now it's, I want to be a TikTok influencer, and I want to make content. What's my content going to be? How am I going to hook people in? And they get obsessed with this, with all the likes, all the engagement, all the comments, and all the critics, and every negative comment that comes through. That affects you mentally. That sticks with you.
Especially kids, right?
Dave and I just read mean tweets yesterday. It doesn't affect us like it would a teenager.
Right.
You know, we have thicker skin than I did at 14 years old.
Well, you remember a few things people said to you when you were 14, right?
There's a comment that still sticks with me. When I was 14, I uploaded a YouTube video, and they said it was a me covering Umbrella by Rihanna on acoustic guitar, and they said, "You killed it, ... and not in a good way." And it stuck with me because it was funny, it was creative.
And it hurt.
But there's something about these strangers that are critics on the internet, and we take it personally and go, this is a reflection of my character and who I am. And so you've got to be really careful, not just about what you're posting, what you're engaging in, but what other people are saying that you don't even know.
So, man, I just loop back to two big things. Number one, if you're wondering, can I have a job? Can I have a life if I don't engage in this? I don't, and I seem to be doing okay. And the second thing is, please be highly diligent with your kids. Just handing your kid a device or a box, a digital babysitter, and saying, go get them and make good choices is just a recipe for disaster. The data on children's mental health and their engagement with social media continues to just be jaw-dropping.
I think it's going to be one of the biggest issues for that generation that we've got to grapple with. And parents are the start of it. They've got to have these conversations.
Let's go to New York City, New York. Mike is there. Mike, how can we help?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I love the show.
Thank you, sir. How can we help you?
So I graduated school in 2020 with about $47,000 in student loan debt. And over the past 18 months, I've been paying that down, even though it's been in forbearance. With everything going on in the news recently and talks of Biden writing off $10K of student loans, it just so happens that I'm at about $10,000 left. So I'm just kind of wondering, should I just keep paying it down or potentially leave free money from the government on the table?
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at that statement, free money from the government. A thing that doesn't exist, actually. It's always coming back to you one way or the other. And
Yep.
I could be wrong on this, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I don't see it happening. I think it's a campaign year. Midterm elections are coming up. And I think this is something that gets dangled out there because it's a winning talking point in that a lot of people who have student loans are going, oh, that would be great. It'd be great. It'd be great. But I just do not expect it to happen because, quite frankly, student loans are big money business for the government, George.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, Ken. As I was laughing at the idea of, well, in the news, there's been talks. Oh, a politician talking. Look at that. That's progress. And so I'm not banking on that. And like Ken's saying, what's happening here is approval ratings are low. Midterms are coming up. We got to make them look good to get So what's happening here is they dangle the carrot to make people vote, and then they keep kicking the can down the road. And as we've seen, the student loan forgiveness stats are abysmal. 1 or 2% of the people that applied have been forgiven. And you've already done the hard work, Mike, to get down to $10,000 from $47,000. So how many more months is it going to take for you to pay off?
It should be done in August.
I'll tell you this much. By August, it will not have happened.
Nope.
I'm happy to be wrong, like Ken said, and you will not look back with regret. When you're debt-free and you don't have a payment in the world, just be happy for those that got their $10,000 paid off if it even ever happens, but I'm not holding my breath.
And Mike, listen, you're a good dude. I mean, you're a high-character guy. That's why you've already gone after it. You've already been paying it down even though they were in forbearance. And
Smart.
Listen, you took out the loan. Does not make you evil. Does not make you bad. You're not a criminal. You're not a person of low character. But you signed up for that. You took it out and paying it back. And I just think that, we've got to remember this, folks, that, at the end of the day, I understand why emotionally, if you've been under the weight of these loans, that you're holding out for it. but I wouldn't hold out for it.
Yeah. Well, people feel like they've been lied to when it comes to the entire student loan crisis and
I get
college
that.
and the promises.
I get
But at the end
that.
of the day, at what point do we go, well, we should extend this to credit card debt and all kinds of debt? And the truth is, you signed up for the debt, you got to pay it back. That's just how it works. You don't want to do that, don't go into debt.
Yep.
So, way to go, Mike. Keep paying it off. Call us back when you're debt-free. We would love to celebrate with you.
August is going to be here before you know it, Mike. Really proud of you, man. Keep on going, and it's going to be a challenge that you look at on the other side of this thing of being free of that student loan debt. You're going to look back, and it's going to really build character. It's going to teach you a lot. It's going to remind you later on in life when you have another challenge that you can do it. So there's nothing but positives by paying this off.
Starting this hour, Houston, Texas. Tangela is with us. Or Tangela. I'm sorry. I have no idea. Tangela, how can I help?
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey, for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm calling. My husband and I, we started on our debt-free journey a couple months ago. We've been watching your YouTube videos, and just really trying to get in the mode of things. We even went to purchase the book, The Total Money Makeover, and we've gotten to the point where it's like a struggle. We're scraping to save our emergency fund by I was putting money into to purchase the employee stock. Mm-hmm. And so we took that out. We're able to use that. Mm-hmm. But then as we look at our budget, it's like we actually need that to get out the rear. We're always in the rear every month. Mm-hmm. Our money going out is like it exceeds what we're bringing in. And there's some things I wrote down.
How have you been covering that? I mean, you've been going in debt.
We go negative.
Have you been going in?
And then we went.
Stop.
We went and got a loan.
Stop. Have you been going into debt every month?
Yes, we're going into debt every month, and our problem is we're trying to figure out how to. I've watched the videos about the log jam, how you got to blow some things up. Mm-hmm. We have nothing to sell. It's like we're so excited to get started, but we don't know how.
Gotcha.
And it's not because the income isn't coming in.
So what is your household income?
Okay, so a month I bring home each month. Oh, go ahead.
What's your household income a year, the two of you both?
82. Okay. 82,000.
And how much debt do you have, not counting your house?
91,000.
Okay.
We don't own a house. We're renting.
Good. Okay. And break that 91 down for me. How much do you owe on your car?
On our car, we owe, because we have two car notes. One is we had an accident. Someone hit us. They totaled out our car, so we got a cheaper car after that. We owe $10,500 on that one. Mm-hmm. And then we're paying we had the gap insurance, but they only paid, it left us with paying $40,000 on that car. So now we've got that down to $2,500. Did you say 40 or 4? 4.
Okay, so you have 10 on a car, 4 on a gap problem from a former car. Do you have another car note?
No.
Okay, the other car is paid for, or you have one car?
We only have one car,
Gotcha.
and we're paying off the gap. Okay. We pay $199 a month. We've gotten that down to $2,400.
Okay, and how much do you owe on credit cards?
Credit cards altogether, $1,000.
Okay, so what do you got? Student loans must be it.
Student loans. We owe like $51,000.
Okay, all right. That's 61, 65, 66. What's the rest of it?
And the rest of it is like a lot of. So on a furniture bill we've gotten that down now to $1,000. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it is like, say, a payday loan here. Old bills. It's like old stuff that we had.
That you're not paying on right now.
Well, we're some of it right. Some of it is stuff that had went in credit into collections and on our report, and so we gathered it up, to add into what we needed to pay.
Okay,
and then some of it is medical bills.
Yeah, let's do this. The things that you're not currently paying on, let's just set those over to the side and deal with them in a little while, okay? And then let's talk about how to do a budget, all right? How much is your rent?
Mm-hmm. Our rent is $1,360. That includes the water bill.
Good. Okay. So the way we're going to do a budget is, all a budget is I want you to jump on and get the Every Dollar budget app for your phone or for your computer. It's free. Okay, it takes about 10 minutes to do your budget that way. And the point is, you're not going to go into debt every month anymore, ever again.
Okay.
You're going to pay what you can pay. If someone doesn't get paid, someone doesn't get paid. But for right now, the first thing is we're going to balance the budget. And what we're going to do is take the income that you have coming in. Have you stopped your 401k?
We just stopped that last week.
Good. Did you get a big tax refund this year?
No, we got on our tax refund $2,000 back, and then we took that and we put it on our debt.
Got it.
That's some debt that we had.
All right. You don't want to get a $2,000 tax refund. That means you're paying in $2,000 too much out of your check.
Okay.
So one of you needs to change your W-4 at payroll and bring that $2,000 home, which would be about $150 more a month coming home. So between that and the 401k coming home, now we're starting to, you're not doing it anymore. Those two things will help you start to get the budget balanced a little bit. Now, what you do is you put your take-home pay at the top of the page, and every dollar has an assignment, and we'll just do it in order until we run out of money. Okay? First thing you buy is food, and that does not mean eating out. You don't get to eat out. You're broke.
Right.
You're cooking at home. So we're going to buy food at the grocery store, and we're going to cook. And healthier anyway. And a lot cheaper. So eating out's a luxury. So we're going to put food at the top. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to pay your lights and water. You don't have to pay water. It's built into your rent. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to pay your rent, which includes your water. Okay? And we're going right down the list of things that are most important. So already we have eaten, and we have a place to live that's warm or cool.
Right.
Okay, so now we live. We live to fight another day, and then we're going to take care of the car payment because we have to have transportation, and then we're going to look around. Is there anything else we have to do before we start paying on these bills? And then your first goal is to try to go down the bills and pay minimum payments, the stated minimum payment on everything else. You've got a lot of money left over after I did those things.
Right.
You should have.
See, I think, we should have. We got a lot of foolish things like our cell phone bills for ours and our kids. They'll lose a phone. We'll go get another one. We end up financing that. So we pay $300 a month on our cell phone bill. We pay. I told my husband this month we need to cut off cable, but he's so worried about the kids not having any. Well, they need to be able.
I'm worried about your kids too. Your family's bankrupt, and you're spending like you're in Congress.
Right.
$300 a month for a cell phone bill? I mean, I'm a multi-millionaire. My cell phone bill's not $300 a month. That's out of control. So you guys have got to get in there, and you got to start chopping some of this stuff out and chopping wood here. But anyway, you guys make the decisions. But if you'll spend every dollar on paper, on purpose, using that every dollar budget, and both of you agree to that, and quit just having these drama things about each individual thing. Just make the list, make the money go, and when the money runs out, we stop spending. And it's done. That's what you do. So I think you can pay your minimum payments on everything here that you're mentioning if you set the other payments to the side, and then as you pay off that smallest one, if you can find any money, pick up an extra job, have a garage sale, find something to sell, anything you can do, pay off that smallest one. When that smallest was gone, take that payment, any other money we can squeeze out of this budget, and put it on the next one down. I don't think you've been doing the budget that way. Doesn't sound to me like you have. You still sound very out of control, very discombobulated. Ruth's with us in Boston. Hi, Ruth. How are you?
Okay, I guess.
Okay. What's up?
I'm trying to get out of my in-laws' house. We just moved here in February, and it's really hard to save and get out of here.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. Right now I'm working a job that's $12 an hour, and my husband's making $75,000 a year, and it's still, really bad. And we've tried everything. We've tried forbearance. I had over 22 credit cards, and my mother-in-law is charging us $700 in rent, which is more than we can even afford. And
so,
also my husband has a pool.
So basically you have a $100,000 household income.
Yes.
And you can't figure out how to move out.
Only because every month, like our bills basically, how do I explain it? Like, say, for instance, if we're making 35.
Yeah, so how much debt do you have that's draining all this cash?
So it's basically credit card debt.
How much credit card debt do you have?
I want to say like $15,000, and we have student loans.
How much are your student loans?
Right now, we have $11,000 left to pay off, and the other loan is, I want to say, $5,000 left to pay off.
So 16,000 in student loans, 15 in credit cards, and how much on your cars?
My husband has a lease for $471, and the insurance is $171.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the other car?
There's no other car. It's just there's so many.
And you guys are 34?
No, I'm 25. My husband's 28.
Oh, you've gone all the way into 34-year-old stupid. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So we're also paying the utilities and electricity here. And it's like really hard to get an apartment in Massachusetts because the rent starts at $1,200 for a studio, and I have a kid, so just really stuck in that. I tried to see if I could sell anything. I tried to sell clothes. Nothing.
So what does your husband do for a living?
He's a bus driver.
He's a what?
And a bus driver.
A bus driver. Okay.
Yes.
Inside the city of Boston?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so how far out of Boston do you have to go before the rent starts dropping?
We've tried 10 miles from, right now we live in Quincy. We've tried 10 miles from Quincy, and it's still about the same. It's $1,200 for a one-bedroom.
Yeah. So what about 20 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles?
I haven't searched 20 miles.
I'm sorry?
I haven't searched 20 miles.
I didn't think so. Okay. All right. Well, here's the situation. Number one, the car is absolute insanity. It needs to be sold. You're probably going to have to borrow a little money to sell it and get rid of it. But a $471 car payment when you're living with your mother-in-law is that's in the land of stupid. That doesn't work. Okay. The second thing is you got no bargain with your mother-in-law here. $750 plus utilities and all these other things you're paying is not a deal. It's not a deal. You're completely out of control. You do not have any kind of a written budget, and you and your husband are not working together on your money.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Joanne is in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, Joanne. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and George. Thank you for taking my call, and God bless you both for everything you do. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. You too. How can we help?
Well, my husband's 75. I'm 65, both retired. We sold our house in Raleigh last September when the market was great. Thought we would be full-time RVers. Have been touring the country since then and have found that's not the life for us. So we would like to have a home base. So we've already made a deal, contracted for a brand new house near Raleigh, and it's about $400,000. We have $180 in a money market account, and another, well, it used to be $100 in an investment account, and that's gone down to $94,000, which is kind of sickening us. So we wondered what your advice would be. Should we put all that money towards the $400,000 house? I mean, it was a paid-for house that we sold.
What did it sell for?
We've been following $325.
Okay. And so you still got $280. What's the RV worth?
About $25.
You going to sell it?
No, we were going to take it up to New York where we have our son and wife and grandchildren and spend the summers in it up there at a campground.
Okay. All right. That sounds fun. Okay.
It is.
All right. And how much do you have in retirement accounts?
Well, I'm retired from New York and North Carolina, and then with both of our Social Securities, we get about a little over $7,000 a month.
Yeah, but do you have a retirement nest eggs?
No.
So you don't have like 401ks or something like that?
No, it was all state retirement.
Okay, so you have a good steady income, but this $280,000 between the investment and the cash is all you've got.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought you said you were going to pull money out of retirement to pay for the house. How are you doing this?
No. The investment account. We were wondering if we should leave that in there.
No, you should put it all in the house. You should put it in the house. You have a really big monthly income.
Yeah, I know. We're blessed. We are very blessed.
Yeah. And I would use that in. You make sure you keep an emergency fund back, and let's put as much down on the house as we can. And then I want you to work to get that house paid off as quick as you can.
Yeah, that's.
Because I don't want you. Listen, I don't want you married to an 85-year-old man and still have a mortgage.
I know. We love you. We've been following you for 10 years. Actually came and saw you. In 2013, and you've changed our life already. But I think we feel like we may have done something a little stupid here. But just wanted to.
Yeah.
Hear you tell us.
Another option is buy a $280,000 house instead of a $400,000 house.
Well, we've already contracted for this new house. So.
That's where we started. It's looking for
Yeah, we tried to find a house for that, and even bid on a couple here in Raleigh, and it is crazy. The bidding wars. They're going for one house just went for $60,000 more than the asking price.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, that's the thing. I mean, because we are not thrilled with the idea of you going into the last years of your retirement in the next 2 decades with a house payment. So I want you to clear that house payment on that $400 as quick as you can.
Yeah. Get that emergency fund, set aside some money for closing costs. The rest is going to be a big old down payment, so you have as little mortgage as possible so that you can attack it as quickly as possible. That would be my goal at your age.
Sitting on $140,000 worth of debt, and so how quick do you pay that off with $8,000 a month income? So yeah, you're going to pay it off, but you do need to do it in like 3 or 4 years. You don't need to mess around with this, and because you want to get back to where you were with that paid for property, and then keeping that RV and then moving it up in there and having your summers around the grandkids is a cool idea. So, but let's have a plan to knock this little mortgage out. It's going to be a little one, and let's get it done, and then start building some investment dollars beyond that, beyond just your monthly income. I'd love for you to have another $500,000 in a few years, and you've got the ability to do all that, but you're just going to have to concentrate and focus here. So that would be an interesting note, because we have a whole lot of people that's their dream.
It's an RV.
It comes up a lot. Sell the house, and I'm going to RV. Sell the house, and I'm going to RV.
We get that from people of all ages.
And I'm going to RV around the country. And the moral of the story is it's not for everyone. And this idea that it's always glamorous, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's an RV. It's fun, and there's an adventure part to it, but it can wear thin, and it obviously did with them, and they're parking the thing.
Yeah.
And so it's the false start of it cost them something there. So if we had their situation to do over, we'd probably say buy a good used RV and go on the road before you sell your house, and make sure that
do a little test run.
Make sure that life is what you want before you.
Well, in this hot market, people are going, should I sell my house and just live in an RV because I can get so much for the house right now?
Yeah. No, you shouldn't, because it might not be what you want to do. So you ought to go give it a try, and that's why you try a pair of shoes on, see if they fit. This is a plan. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Karen is with us in Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Hi, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
I'm doing well. It's an honor to speak to you.
You too. How can we help?
Well, my husband and I have actually gone through Financial Peace University, and we're doing really well. We, as of 2022, we were, had a fully funded business safeguard account. We had our emergency fund funded. We had no debt other than our house. And at that time, my husband got a not so good medical diagnosis. So that set us back that year. And then ultimately he decided to make a step into a profession that he wanted to be in. And that essentially cut our income almost in half for now. So he's doing much better with that and moving forward, progressing forward. But my question is, as a result of those two things, we had to, tap into those safeguard accounts and pretty much depleted most of them. And now we've got some credit card debt. We have some stock that is not in any kind of retirement account. So my question to you is, do I sell that stock and pay that little bit of credit card debt that we do have now, or should I let that stock sit and just continue to not accumulate any more credit card debt, but, just make payments on that?
Well, what happens next time?
What happens next time?
Next time there's a bump in the road and you land on a dadgum credit card again. When are you going to stop this foolishness?
Well, we were able to do quite well for, a while. And
until you didn't.
On
until you start living on credit cards again.
Well, we didn't really live on them.
Yeah, you did. You bought crap you couldn't afford to buy.
Well, it was more monthly things that we already had an obligation for because we weren't meeting our monthly budget.
Okay.
Because of that.
So when you use
income.
the stock to pay off the credit cards, and the next time you go on one of these adventures where you don't meet the monthly obligations and you lean on credit cards, what are you going to do then?
Well, I would hope we wouldn't be back in this position.
I would hope you wouldn't have been here this time. I'm not going to give you permission to say what you did was okay. What you did was not okay. It was a really bad, dumb plan. And if you're going to use every time something comes along to get yourself back into credit card debt, I can't help you. Because you've used up your stock then. So if I tell you to cash out this stock and then you go do this again, you're screwed, girl. You follow me?
Yeah, I guess this was kind of a one-time.
No, it's not.
A one-time thing, though.
No, it's not. Always life's going to bring you something. It's always going to be something coming up. Until you decide no matter what, let me tell you when the time is we're going to use a credit card at the Ramseys. Never, under any circumstances. We'll sell everything in sight, including the dog and 3 of the grandkids. We will never again go into a credit card debt. Ever, under any circumstances. Period. Nothing will cause that to happen. We will be riding a bicycle instead of driving a car, but we won't have debt. Ever. See, until you get there, kiddo, you're going to go back again. You're going to go back again. You're going to go back again because there's always something comes up. Because there's a crack. And as long as there's a crack in the thing, the water's going to leak through. So, yes, you should cash out the stock and you should pay off the credit cards. But you have got to, the two of you have got to sit down and go, we flunked Financial Peace University. We flunked the class. So we have got to reset and draw a line in the sand and say, never, under any freaking circumstances, are we ever going to have a credit card in our house.
Cut it up, close the accounts, and then you won't have the opportunity to be blessed with the 22% APR from these credit card companies. That's the easiest way to do it, because then you're going to find another way when debt's not an option, when debt's off the table.
I got a friend that lost his career, he lost his family, he lost everything because of a drinking problem. He's now been dry for 30 years. You know when he's going to drink again? Never. You know when the alcohol's going to be in his house again? Never. Ever. You got to decide. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Let's go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Joshua joins us there. Joshua, how can we help?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're having a blast. What's going on?
Awesome. I had a question about my relationship and kind of how the financial aspect of everything fits into it. I've been with the girl, about a year and a half, and I love her, and I'm looking at engagement, but we haven't discussed finances in detail. And I know there's a bit of an income gap there, and I was just kind of wondering when and how that subject should be approached.
Great question. So let me ask you this. You said there's an income gap. How do you know that?
She asked me to help do her taxes last year. I'm an investment advisor and tax advisor.
Cool. So you know her income, but she doesn't know yours.
Yeah, and there's no big secret. The conversations just never come up.
Yeah. So what is the conversation like around money so far?
It's just something we just split expenses when we go out, and, there's never any kind of concern on my part or even hers. But we have not gone in depth in any way, shape, or form, as far as what I have and what I make and that kind of thing.
Well, without giving you a specific timeline, I'll say this. What's more important than the numbers are the values. And if you guys value the same things financially, if you guys both want to remain debt-free, become debt-free, invest for the future, those are the things that tell me that you will have longevity as a couple versus who makes what. But if the fear is I make a lot more than her, is this going to change the relationship? Is that part of the equation?
I'm not overly concerned about that, but it's something that's in the back of my mind. I don't think that she values that kind of thing more than me. Great values as a person. She's awesome. And neither of us have any debt anymore. So I guess I was just kind of wondering when's appropriate. Before you get engaged, after you get engaged?
Sure. Well, here's the funny thing. She's already aired everything about her financial life because you did her taxes. So clearly she's very open and honest about this stuff, and I don't think it's a bad thing for you to do that as well. But I do think it's wise for you guys to be engaged before having, very specific conversations when it comes to numbers, because we don't recommend combining your finances until you're married, and that's really when it starts to matter.
Sure.
But Ken may have a totally different approach. What's your take on this, Ken?
I think you're very thoughtful on this, and I think there might be some fears. I think you've addressed the financial stuff. I think you have to, Joshua, kind of wrestle with what are you afraid of based on the information you've given us. Do you think that, I know you love her, but I just heard some doubt about maybe even the long-term viability of this relationship because of how she looks at money and how you look at money. Am I reading into that, or did I hear some of that?
No, I guess it's in the back of my mind, but it's probably more so from past experiences I've had, nothing to do with her. I'd hate to put that on her. It's probably more just in my life experiences. I've been burned in the past. Everybody has.
What does that mean for you? What
do you mean you got burned?
You disclosed your income and they used you for your money, or?
No, not necessarily. I've just in the past, I've been surrounded by some shallower people, and she is by no means shallow. It's just maybe that's why I'm kind of struggling with the whole idea of disclosing it fully to somebody that's not, say, a business partner or, an immediate family member.
Well, I think I'm hearing some trust issues based on your past. That's pretty normal. You got hurt. There's some trauma involved with what's happened to you in the past. And so you have to get healthy with that and move on from it and then go, okay, what have I learned so I can be smart? But as I begin to grow deeper in my relationship with her and I share my finances, what's the worst that can happen? Do you know what I mean? Do you think she's going to go on Facebook and share it with everybody?
No.
No. So play this out. What is the worst that can happen if I share my finances? And I think actually as you get comfortable doing this, and again, I think George is right, you guys are dating right now, so I don't think this has to happen now. But if you get to that point and you become engaged, and maybe even before we get engaged, I think this is a great time. It's not about showing her everything in your finances. It's more about talking about your views on finances and your values around money. And if she is naive, that's a big difference than shallow. So shallow,
exactly.
Okay, good. So you get what I'm saying there? I think shallow is one thing. Naivete and not, kind of having any knowledge or experience with money is very different. I think as you begin to teach her and share with things and not be intense about it, but have conversations about it as you would maybe about eventually having kids or or religion or politics or whatever you would in a relationship, you begin to talk about it holistically and see how she feels about it. And if you feel there's still concerns, then you have to take that serious. But right now, I'm not seeing a lot of red flags.
Sure.
Yeah, appreciate the call, young man. Very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Very mature.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Laurie is in Alberta, Canada. Hi, Laurie. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, Dave, my husband and I have been following your debt-free plan for a little while now, but and we do have our emergency plan saved up. But my husband and I have been having a disagreement about that. He doesn't understand why you recommend to save only $1,000 and why you wouldn't save your fully funded emergency fund first. And I've tried to argue it out with him, but I was wondering if you could explain it for him.
Well, it's pretty simple. I don't want to delay you getting out of debt. And the longer,
Right.
and if you spend, you don't have as much cash flow today because you have payments to build up your emergency fund. So it's going to take you a long time to get your 3 to 6 months built up because you have all these other payments coming out your ears.
Right, and that's what I told him, but then he says, well, $1,000 really isn't very much for an emergency.
It's more than you've got now.
Right.
And that was his plan before, which was nothing.
Well, I mean, we've always been good about saving
Really?
money.
Well, how much do you have saved?
Well, we had a lot saved, like several, I'd say 30,000 or so in the past.
Where'd it go?
Due to different life circumstances, me becoming disabled and such, and moving a few times, we don't have that much left.
Mm-hmm.
So we do still have the 1,000, but if we, run into any other problems, then he's saying, well, that's not very much to cover an emergency.
How much debt do you have?
I think probably about, at the most, 20,000.
Mm-hmm. And what's your household income?
Plus our house, but
What's your household income?
I think before taxes is about 85,000.
So you should be debt-free in a year.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so we're not talking about doing this on an extended period of time. It's for a short period of time. Now, if you guys are facing medical concerns due to your disability and you want to beef up the 1,000 because of that, a little bit, that's fine. But in terms of discussing the theory of why you have baby step 1 being very small, it's so that you can get your stinking debts paid off. Because when you don't have any debts, then you can save money much more efficiently and much more quickly. Basically, when I first started this, Laurie, I was telling people, hey, don't save anything. Just get your butt out of debt. And that didn't work. You had to have a little bit of a pad out there, a little bit of a baby starter emergency fund. And that's why we went with baby step 1 being $1,000. But past that, no. I mean, again, if you guys want to beef it up a little bit due to your disability and potential medical issues, if there's something there, that's fine. We can talk about that, or you can do that if you want to. But on the overarching theory, the goal is to get the debts paid off because that frees up more cash, and that's the goal here. Your most powerful wealth building and saving tool, investing tool, is your income, and getting rid of the debt frees up the income to do that, and that's the reason for doing this, and it's the reason it's the right thing to do, by the way. And so I would get after it if I were you in that situation. Hey, thank you for the call. We appreciate you joining us.
All right, let's go to Steven in Springfield. What's up, Steven?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it. What's up, dude?
Oh, so I got a question on kind of how to handle. I ended up taking on Saturdays at work, so I'm bringing home about an extra $350 a week. I got about $26,000 in consumer debt through different loans and everything like that with different interest rates. So I'm just trying to figure out, every time I seem to have extra money, I throw it across the board. And I'm trying to figure out if it's better to just say, pick one, pay it off, then roll it, or what is your guys' input on something like that?
So what kind of debts are these, if you listed out the 26?
So I've got a car, credit card between me and my wife, and then I have a Peloton spin bike that has a 0%, so I kind of always throw that one on the back burner and try to go after the car that has a 5.4% and the credit card that has a 14%. But then again, every time I put $1,000 on the credit card, something comes up and it feels like that thousand's back on there.
Can we agree before George walks you through it that the way you're doing it's not working?
Correct, absolutely.
Yes, dude, you've already won. You've already won. Congratulations. All right, go for it, George.
As a fellow math nerd, on paper, you're like, well, I should pay off the highest interest debt first. That makes sense mathematically. I'll pay the least amount in interest. But what we found is that personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% nerdy head knowledge. And so the way we've seen it, where people actually get this debt out of their life once and for all, is using the debt snowball method, which is ignoring the interest rate. Just cross it out. You don't know the interest rates anymore. All you see is individual balances. We're going to pay minimum payments on all of the balances except for that smallest one. And with all that side work, all of the extra money, you're cutting expenses, selling stuff, you're going to throw that at the smallest debt. It's going to free up a payment. You're going to roll it to the next one and the next one. And man, that is the fastest way. Now, is it mathematically the best way? No, you probably could save a few dollars on interest, but you'll also probably hang on to that debt for longer because it's hard to make progress.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I feel like I'm at right now, and that's slowly been listening to you guys more and more and just been trying to tackle it, and I figured here we are, and let's try to see what you guys' input on it is.
There's something powerful, Stephen, about this. You have a debt with $500, you have a debt with $300, you have a loan to a buddy for $1,500, you got a credit card with $5,000. And you get $1,000 and you throw it at that car. And it goes down to $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
You still all owe all the same people money.
Correct.
There's something else. If you owed 6 people money and you took that $1,000 and you paid off that $300 one and that $500 one, you just cut 2 sharks out of your life. There's something powerful psychologically. Like, I'm actually making progress. When you just knock 5,000 to 4,000, that's a lot of money, but it doesn't feel like it because you're still paying the same people. There's something about knocking these things out, smallest to largest, that you start to believe, oh, I can do this. And then I like it. This is me personally. I like that credit card just hanging out there, just gnawing at you.
14%.
Like it just gives you hemorrhoids. There's no preparation H in sight. You gotta just deal with it. And it makes you. I gotta get that thing out of my life. But the only way I get it is to get these other 3 out. And so I'm gonna power through. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. Because I'm gearing up for tax returns and stuff like that. And my issue at hand was, all right, well, how am I going to use that money if I do get any? Or I always try to break even, but some years you end up getting something back. And I'm just hoping that if I do, I wanted to use it in the right way instead of year after year feeling like I'm just putting $1,000 across the board. And like you guys are saying, I still have 3 other debts that just have a little bit lower of a balance.
Yeah, dude.
You know what to do. Man, commit to this debt snowball, and you're going to be debt-free in no time.
Very cool.
Great. I appreciate that.
You got it, brother. Hey, holler at us when you get all these paid off, man, and we'll celebrate with you.
Eric's in New York City. Hey, Eric, what's up?
How you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve, man. How can I help?
Yes, I have credit card debt, about $25,000, and 2 of them total $20,000. My credit union is offering a 1.99% and I was thinking about refinancing it. Those 2 larger debts, because it's about $400 in interest that I'm paying every single month while I'm doing the baby steps. I'm on baby step 1.
So you owe $40,000 on plastic.
No, I owe $25,000 on plastic.
Oh, $25,000.
Right, and 2 of them total $20,000.
I got you. Okay, and you're gonna refinance 20 of the 25.
Right.
Okay.
And
what do you make a year?
100.
Okay.
A little over 100.
It's odd. This is the same conversation we were just having a minute ago, but he was on the investing side and you're on the debt side. You can do this if you want to do it. here's the danger. You're going to think you actually did something. You think this is a big deal. You don't have a $400 problem, my man. You have a $25,000 problem. When you address the $25,000 problem with the idiocy spending you've been doing like you've been in Congress on plastic, when you address that deep down in your soul, you're going to get out of debt really, really fast on $25,000 making $100. You're not going to be in debt very long. Interest is not your problem. But if you want to lower the interest, it'll help you a tiny bit. Here's the deal. 5% of you getting out of debt is refinancing this. 95% of you getting out of debt is you looking in the mirror and getting pissed off and chunking on this thing and beating the snot out of it, because mathematically 95% of this is not going to be an interest problem. Mathematically, this is going to be you chunking money on this because you're mad, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm not living like this anymore. You are 95% of the secret sauce. That level of, you hearing me, dude?
Yes. So how long would it take if I just left it?
2 months longer.
Ooh.
You saved 2 months. I might have missed that by a few days one way or another. But my point is $400 is $4,800 a year. And you're going to be out of debt in a year. And so, we cut it in half because halfway through the year, you're going to have the debt half paid down. So it's not $4,800 a year you're going to save. It's going to be more like $2,400 a year in this year that you get out of debt in 1 year. And so you're saving $2,400, $200 a month at the end of the day. And how much does that apply to a $2,500? Oh, I was right. It's 10%. There we go. Look at that. So yeah, so it's between a month and 2 months you're going to save. It's okay to do it. I'm not mad about you doing it. But what I don't want you to do, Eric, the thing people do with debt consolidation is they feel like they did something and they think they fixed it with this loan, and you cannot borrow your way out of debt.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're selling is saving money, and then you kind of lean on that instead of the intensity that you're talking
about. And you have this frustration like, I got to get out of debt, and then you think you did something, and then you look up a year later and you're still in exactly the same place.
I got a line,
but with lower
Dave.
payments.
You gave me a line.
What's that?
He doesn't have an interest problem. He has an intensity problem.
Ooh.
That's what you're teaching.
That's a good line.
Well, you gave it to me.
I like it. Well, I didn't say it. You said it. I'll let you have it.
Taking notes over here, folks.
You can own it. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Ray starts off this hour in Oklahoma City. Hi, Ray. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. I've watched some of your videos and stuff, some of your YouTube things, and I've put myself into some major issues. Started about 3 years ago, I guess, when I medically had to leave my job, and it took me about 1.5 years to even get Social Security disability going on. I am retired military, and I'm drawing military disability also, but I've had to borrow from some very high interest loan places in order to survive for the longest time, and now I can't get out of the cycle because I can't get a consolidation loan to pay off all of them and refigure my cash flow.
Mm. So what is your military disability income?
Let's see. Okay, so military retirement, I bring home about $1,900 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Social Security, I bring home about $2,400, and disability is $39.
Okay, on top of that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got you got $8,200 a month coming in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem is with car payments and all my loans and rent and bills and everything, I'm shelling out about $88.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 60.
What's the nature of your disability?
Bad knees, bad back, PTSD.
Okay. And the PTSD is what cost the last job?
No, the knees and back is what cost the last job.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I physically cannot work anymore. I can't sit for any long periods of time. I can't lay down for any long periods of time. I can't stand for any long periods of time.
Yeah.
My back is completely shot. I have massive trauma in my back and my knees.
Mm-hmm.
And the military has basically deemed me unemployable.
Sure.
Because of physical restraints. I'm not supposed to pick up more than 10 to 15 pounds at a time.
Yeah. Are you married?
Yeah.
What does she make?
She has she does a consulting business for a company, but she doesn't really make anything. Everything she makes, she puts right back into it for right now. And she really doesn't make a whole lot because she just got started with the company.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't sound like a good deal.
Oh. Nope. I'm pretty much having to cover everything.
Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry for the miss you're in.
2 years.
I'm sorry for the miss you're in. Thank you for your service and what an incredible price you paid. And
I've spent the last 2 years trying to rebuild my credit.
Yeah, well, you don't need credit. Credit is your problem. How much debt do you have?
Altogether, cars, credit cards, and high interest loans.
Okay, how much do you owe on credit cards?
Probably about 8.
And what do you owe on your cars?
The one car that I owe on is still got about 22 on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what is the other debt?
The high interest loans.
Okay, and how much are those?
If I were to pay them out completely, we're looking at about $25K.
Okay, all right. You have $100K coming in. All right, and so I think the challenge is that the two of you need to do two things. One is you need to sit down together and get on a detailed written budget. We're going to put you into Financial Peace University and into Every Dollar, the world's best budgeting app, and I'm going to pay for it as my gift to you to say thank you for your service, okay?
Okay.
But you make $100,000 a year, man.
Yep.
Okay. You can't work because of your physical condition, so you have zero need for a $22,000 car.
Well, that's the wife's car.
Yeah, it's gone. She didn't make any money. We're selling it. We're getting a cheap car. What do you got?
2015 Versa Note that's paid off.
Okay. We need to get her something that's paid off because y'all are broke and you're out of control and you're going to have to do some radical things to get in control. And that's the two of you sitting down together. She needs to get a job that actually pays money. And then the two of you can take the $100,000 you got coming in and the money that she actually makes and get rid of a car payment, and then you can clear this up in less than a year. You don't have anything here that's not doable, but you've just all this stuff has happened to you, and the trauma of this whole situation is caused you guys to get paralyzed, and you're just not dealing with it. But you've got the math to deal with it. The math is there. $4,000 a month, and you're debt free in a year if you keep the car.
Yeah, I know, but that's the problem. Is I don't,
Well, you got 88 coming in.
If I do that, then do I stop paying on stuff and just snowball it?
No, we're going
and pay off one at a time, or
I'm going to pay off one of these high interest loans. How many different loans are there?
I don't know off the top of my head. There's a lot. but there's, they're
list
varying amounts.
them out, smallest to largest, and take out $4,000 of them this month, and take out $4,000 of them next month. That's $8,000 of the 25.
Right, but that's the problem. I don't have. I mean,
you have $8,800.
But that's what I'm saying. So do I take? Do I just stop paying on them?
You pay minimums and you attack these. But you can do this. You can do this.
I think selling the car is going to help out. Freeing up that payment will give you a little bit of that margin to start this process.
Yeah, and you've got to do a written game plan for your money. You write down $8,800 at the top of the page or $8,200 at the top of the page, and then you work down into this. There should be margin in this. It should not all be gone. Those interest rates, there's not enough debt here to cause that. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Tiffany is with us in Arizona. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So back in 2014, my husband and I bought a rental house with my parents. And then in 2015, we remodeled it. My husband and I paid all the expenses, and my father did the work. And then in 2016, my parents got divorced. And it was a very spiteful divorce against each other. And my dad came to me and was like, if you give me $5,000 cash under the table, we'll be out of the rental property. And I was like, I'm not going to do that because you guys are both my parents. I'm not getting in the middle of it. So then he went down to the county clerk and put a $20,000 lien on the property so we could not sell it because there was not enough equity to cover the lien. And we've tried paying him 3 times. He won't take the money because he has to split it with my mom. So we're just kind of stuck. We don't really know what to do next.
Wow. Confessions of someone who should not have bought real estate in a partnership, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're financially able to.
No, that wasn't what I said. Confessions of someone that should not have bought real estate in a partnership, which is anyone, by the way. Because the only ship that won't sail is a partnership, including one with spiteful divorced parents. And your dad is a completely butthole. Oh, my God. That's so distressing. I'm so sorry for you. What a jerk. Okay, so what's the property worth?
It's worth $63, and we owe $17.
Oh, it's a big old property, too. Everybody's going to get rich on this.
That's huge.
Crap. What's your household income?
Probably right now I'd say about $150.
What's your net worth?
About $500,000.
Okay, there's a couple of ways to go at this, structurally, relationally, and spiritually. Okay? Mm-hmm. Justice would be served, but not common sense, by way number 1. And it's not my suggestion, but this will work. Okay? Way number 1 is you hire an attorney and you sue the partnership in court for the disillusionment of the partnership assets, and the judge will force the sale of the house, and he will deal with the illicit $20,000 lien in the process. Mm-hmm. Okay? And in other words, the judge would remove the $20,000 lien because you could present evidence that in state court, this is a state court, it's not a federal court move. You'd have to talk to an attorney. It's going to cost you $10,000 or $15,000 to do this. Okay? And your butthole dad is out of the picture forever because once you sue this jerk, he's never going to speak to you again. Okay? And he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Okay? But that may not be a big loss, but it is your dad. It still breaks your heart.
Yeah.
Dads should not do this to their daughters, by the way. It's not normal. That's strange. So, but that technically is how you would get out of a bad partnership, is you sue for the disillusionment of the partnership assets. The judge says you have to sell it. They sell it slow sale with a real estate agent or at an auction, and he can also rule on the illegal lien which is what you're telling me this is. Okay?
Yeah.
In the process. Now, if you want to go that route, you can go that route. That would be justice. That would be the correct thing would happen then is he would not get the $20,000 that he's not due. The property would be sold, and the appropriate people would get the money, although you would be out attorney's fees. And you could sue for those and throw them in there. I assume there's no partnership agreement.
No.
Of course
and
not.
Another problem is every time I talk to my mom, she's like, when you give your dad that money, half of that's mine. So I feel like I'm in the middle where I can't make
No, it's not. I'm not giving your dad anything. That's not the point. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going that route. Okay. Your dad is not due any money. Is he?
I mean,
No, his deal was he did the work and you furnished the repairs. That was the deal. He's not due any money morally. Did I miss something?
We didn't pay him for the work.
I know. He got equity for it. You didn't get paid back for putting up the stuff either, did you?
No.
Okay, that was the deal. Quit covering for this jerk. Am I missing something?
No, I mean, he helped with the down payment too. That was $5,000. But even when we tried to just give him the $5,000 cash, he wouldn't take it. We tried giving him $5,000, $10,000.
Okay, here's the other way. Here's the other way out. Here's the other way out.
Mm-hmm.
This is 90% headache and 10% fruit. You know what I would do if I were you? I assume you're on the mortgage, right?
Yeah.
I would pay off the mortgage today and sign a quitclaim deed to these two fools and let them go work it out and walk away. Just give it to them. Screw them. Let them go burn it down. It's $63,000. Who gives a crap? You've got $500,000, you make $120,000. This is not life-changing money to you. What is life-changing is your parents are being twerps. Just walk away. Just toss them the keys over your shoulder and say, you two figure this out. Good luck, you children. And just forget
their house went in foreclosure. It was worth over $200,000 and they owed $90,000 and they sent it back to the bank instead of selling it, agreeing to sell it. So money isn't really the issue.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
This is not about money. This is about fools. Cut yourself loose from fools.
Okay.
What's happening with the house right now? Are you guys renting it? Is it sitting vacant?
Yeah, we're renting it out. So even though it's a low, the value is not high of the property, the rental, it's worth $1,000 a month.
So let me tell you, by the time you split all this crap up, if you spend $15,000 in attorney's fees instead of $17,000 paying off the mortgage, and you go through all this crap, you're going to end up with $10,000 in your pocket, aren't you?
Well,
after everything's said and done, after all the crap goes on, if you sue them and do it, and you fight through this for 2.5 years in the legal system, and you get this house sold, your net in your pocket is going to be between $10,000 and $20,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the numbers you just gave me.
Happened in Illinois. They passed a new law that's effective 1/1/23 that where if a lien expires, which this one expired in 2018, that you don't have to go through the liener to get it, the person who put the lien on, to get it removed, because apparently there were a lot of contractors.
It's not the lien that's the problem. You're on a mortgage and a deed with two fools.
Oh, they're not. Their name's not on the property at all. It's just our name.
Oh, this is new information.
Yeah, it's all in our name because they were in. I know this is super stupid. I did this, but they were in Chapter 13 for back.
Oh, you guys are it's an under the table family. Oh. We do illegal stuff for a living here. Okay, yeah. I thought they were on the loan with you and on the house. Okay, in this case, I would just sue him. Just sue him and get the lien removed. That's simple. Just sue. Just file a lien with the court. File it with the court and get the lien removed. That's simple. And then don't give them anything. Screw them. That's the way. I mean, just if you want to give them something someday, that's fine, but not now. Yes, we talked about that last call all the way through the commercial break, and you did too. That's why you listen to the Ramsey Show, because it's a little Jerry Springerish around here sometimes. So, oh my gosh. So here's the thing. I finally, in the last 30 seconds, got the information before we move on to the next part that the ownership of the property was in the girl's name. Her and her husband own it. So the only hold mom or dad have on that property is a moral hold where they did a handshake partnership, but there is no legal hold on that property at all. And dad has placed a lien on the property that can be removed with a small attorney's fee of $3,000 to $5,000. So if you have a contractor that you pay and they're pissed and they say you owe me an extra $5,000, but no, that wasn't our deal, and they place a lien on your property, you can sue that contractor and have that removed, have that lien removed for, a couple $1,000 in state court. It's not a big deal. It's a quick hearing, may even be just local small claims court even, possibly, depending on how your area is. So see an attorney, honey, and just sue the contractor that placed lien on your property. The contractor, being your butthole dad, will settle the $20,000 for $3,000 and walk away. You give him the $3,000. Now you own the property free and clear. You have no moral obligation to people who tried to cheat you in an unwritten partnership agreement to pay them anything. You now just own the property, and they're just out to lunch, which is where they deserve to be. They were in Chapter 13 when you bought the property anyway. We used your name, your credit, your money to buy the property to start with. The only thing they did was come up with a really bad idea and stick you in it. And so they get nothing, which is exactly what these two goobs deserve. Parents misbehaving on the the Ramsey Show. And so that's the title of that call. One last thing. Christina's asked me about something else. What about the biblical scripture says to honor your father and mother? You are supposed to honor the office of father, the office of mother, but we do not honor your dad if he sexually molests you. We honor the office of father, but we do not honor a sexual predator. We do not honor mom if she's doing cocaine and stealing your children's college fund. You honor the office of mother, but that mother has severed her rights to be honored as an individual because of her misbehavior, biblically speaking. And so you're not biblically bound to honor people who are misbehaving in any situation.
Well, and I think that's important to highlight because I think a lot of Christians can feel guilt around that, and there are boundaries within that.
Nothing as guilty as an evangelical Christian. We can do guilt better than almost anybody.
Yep.
Maybe Catholics beat us, but we're right in there together, buddy. We got guilt down to a science. But yeah, there's nothing to feel guilty of here. You're the victim. You're not the perpetrator. Brought to you by Zander Insurance. Compare rates from top term life insurance companies in seconds at Zander.com.
Bit of a situation me and my wife are in right now. We're first-time homeowner buyers trying to purchase a home. After doing the math, the first 3 years of mortgage comes around to 45% of our monthly takeaway income after taxes. The area where the house is being built is really hot right now. Everything around is being sold. Major developments going on in that area. But I guess we're just in two separate minds about, do we take the plunge now or wait a year and then maybe the price goes up even further and then, we're just stuck in the apartment.
Why did you say it would only be that much for the first 3 or 4 years?
Depending on how the loan is working out. So we're doing the 2-1 option. So first year.
So this is not only 45%, it's an adjustable rate 30-year mortgage.
Right. So if you're taking the average, I guess from the third year onwards, it's going to be.
You don't have any idea.
It's
called an adjustable rate mortgage.
Yeah.
It's going to adjust. You don't even know.
How old are you?
28.
What's on fire, dude? That would cause you to
be this stupid.
Yeah. Yes. What Dave said.
No. The mortgage is going to be $5,200 after the third year for the next 30 years.
Yeah. So what do you guys make? I only recommend term life insurance because it's simple, affordable coverage, and you should get it only from Zander Insurance because they work for you, not the insurance companies. Zander compares all the top term plans to save you money so you don't get ripped off with insurance that they market like a so-called investment. Term from Zander is the only life insurance I would get from my family. It's all I've ever bought and all I've ever recommended. Go to Zander.com or call 800-356-5000. 4282. So what do you guys make?
We take home 11,250 after taxes a month.
Okay. And do you think your income's going to double in the next year?
No.
Then don't do this deal. It's asinine. You are signing up. You're signing up for some financial suicide.
The truth is, and earlier in the show, we had Brian Buffini on, and we were talking about this very thing, okay? Real estate, I get it. It feels very expensive. Sometimes it feels out of touch. Sometimes it feels like it'll never happen. But that's not true. However, your time horizon for when it will happen may be different from what you expect.
And your neighborhood might be different from where you're
That's
expecting.
also true. You said it's a very hot neighborhood. They're building.
You may not be moving
like
into that neighborhood. You obviously can't afford it.
So what would it look like to look in a different neighborhood, or what would it look like to just change your expectation a little bit? Because to put yourself in a situation where you're at 50%, for you to be trying to convince us that that's a good idea.
It's not sustainable. You know, everything that comes up, because you don't leave enough room in your budget because you're what we call house poor. You're signing up for poverty, and everything that comes up that you guys want to do or need to do that you don't have room for in the budget is going to be new debt. And so you're going to run up a pile of credit card debt, a car debt, and you're going to run up some other debts here and there because you pinched yourself with this house payment. And let me tell you, the way the indexes are set on adjustable rate mortgages, they're set, the interest that they give you going in is a bait and switch because it's not even covering the index, meaning if interest rates don't go down, interest rates would have to go down for your payment to remain the same. So there's a very high likelihood this payment's going up substantially as soon as it's ready to adjust. And so you've signed up for a rat in a wheel that's skinny. That's what you've signed up for.
And let me tell you something else, Jerry, because we get this call all the time. You're married, probably newly married, yes?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you decide to have a baby? And what happens when suddenly a wife or a spouse decides to stay home and say, you know what, I want to stay home with the baby.
You can't.
Now you are locked in.
No, you can't.
And so the best advice I can give you is to think about that future now.
And you can't afford daycare either.
Yeah,
there's not room in the budget.
That's what I'm saying. There's no foresight here, and we're here to help you with that. You
Yeah,
got to think about daycare.
You guys are so desperate to buy a house in that particular neighborhood. You got house fever, and you need to go take a cold shower.
Yeah.
This is a no. It's a hard pass. No. And it's not because I don't want you to have a house. I don't want the house to have you. Mm-hmm. This transaction is going to screw up the next decade of your life minimum if you do it. You can just go back and say, the mean old nasty guy in Tennessee told me that this was going to screw up my life, and he was right. You can remember that if you go forward with this. Please, son, I love you. Please don't do this to yourself and to your new wife. You're signing up for trouble. You can't afford to live in that neighborhood today. We know that because you had to put it on a 30 and you had to put it on an adjustable, and it's still too high a percentage of your take-home pay. There's nothing in this formula that makes sense. Everything in here screams, don't do it, including me over and over. Was I unclear?
You weren't, and we don't even know, Jerry. You didn't tell us if you have no other debt. My guess is you probably already have other debt.
Goodness. Yeah, so we're not the cosmic killjoys here. We're trying to keep you from signing up for what you think is a dream, and we're real sure it's a nightmare.
No, it is.
That's all it is. We just want good things for you, brother. I want you to reconsider this and not do it. And then I want you to back up, pan back, zoom out, start looking further out, look for something a little older, get your foot in the door on home ownership after you're debt-free, have an emergency fund, and you put down a good, strong down payment, and you buy a fixed rate 15-year where the payment's no more than 1/4 of your take-home pay. And so the translation is it's going to be a lot less expensive house than the one you're looking at. It's not going to be nearly as cool as the one you're looking at, but you're brand new, married in Dallas, freaking Texas.
And for new couples, that's some of the best advice that I can think of what Dave just said, and think about what your life will be once you have children, because most, I'm not saying this for everybody, but most people get married and they plan on having children. And daycare is expensive. If you have 2 kids, you're at least spending $2,000 a month on daycare. Think about that now. Think about does somebody want to stay home? Could that possibly be in the future? Because a lot of times we say, no, I'm going right back to work, and you don't know what you're going to do. So please consider that, because I hate those calls, Dave, when they call in and they feel like they're between a rock and a hard place because there was no foresight on really what they wanted their life to look like in the future.
Well, it's all becomes about the house fever.
Yeah.
And it's got to buy a house, you got to buy a house, you got to buy a house. Everybody's got to buy a house, and everything makes sense if you buy a house. It's the same stupid thing that we sign up for with education. No matter what it costs, I got to go get a degree. Mm-hmm. No matter what it costs, I got to get a degree, because you can't get ahead without a degree. And so I'm going $200,000 to get a degree in left-handed puppetry, and it'll all work out.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of, it becomes illogical because you're assigned a value to something that it doesn't have.
That's right.
Home ownership is good. It's not all good when you do it wrong. It's all bad. Mm-hmm. And, don't do this. That's why they call them brokers. Broker and broker and broker. That's what you're going to be. Don't do this. Don't do this. And so I'm sorry if I disappointed your realtor or your builder, but they shouldn't have told you to buy this house. A person with ethics would look at a young married couple and go, honey, you can't afford this. You don't need to do this.
Yeah.
And instead, they're just trying to get a commission.
Yeah.
So
it will be more painful to get this house and have to let it go in 2 years, what I'm saying, than to say no now.
Foreclosed on.
Yeah.
But it puts strain on your relationship. It puts strain on your career decisions going forward. It puts strain on everything. You do not have margin in this deal.
Mm-hmm. And then you start to resent the house because it's got you locked down. Yeah, it's not good.
Well,
it's not good.
Maybe she resents him for talking her into the house.
Or he resents her for saying, I want, I need. Remember, I need, I want. Remember that from,
Oh, yeah.
What about Bob?
That was it. That was it. That was the movie. Wow, look at your callback. Look at that. I want, I need.
I knew you'd get that.
Good old movie. Richard Dreyfuss, Bill Murray.
That's right.
This is The Ramsey Show. If anyone depends on your income, you need affordable term life. Never cash value insurance. Visit Xander.com today for quotes.